Welcome to my next Dexter Original Sin Season 1 episode review videos. I was able to watch the episode early on the Paramount Plus YouTube channel. Before I get into that, though, pretty important. If you aren't caught up to the point where I am at rewatching or watching all of Dexter New Blood, or this most recent episode of Dexter Original Sin, or if you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And hey, what do you know? They did indeed give us 2 brand new episodes of Dexter Original Sin on Paramount Plus this week. So come back to this channel on Saturday at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time for my episode 3 review of Dexter Original Sin, titled Miami Vice. As many of you know, I am a massive Dexter fan. I've reviewed every single episode of Dexter on this channel, so with about 20 seconds left to go in this video, in the end screen, I'll put my Dexter Original Sin playlist right there, which at the moment only has 1 Dexter episode. I created its own separate playlist. Right here with 20 seconds left to go, I'll put my Dexter Seasons Ranked video, my most recent one, which of course I'll update after this season of Dexter Original Sin, and I'll do it again after Dexter Resurrection. Right here, I'll put my Dexter Resurrection theories of who could come back. The video might be a little bit outdated right now, but it's still worth a watch. And then what I'll do right here, I'll put my Dexter New Blood finale review, the first one that I did, just with my thoughts after the Dexter New Blood finale that we got. So make sure that you Hulk smash the like button on any one of the Dexter videos that you watch. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on each video that you watch of mine with Dexter related. Let me know your score of episodes. Let me know your favorite character. But you're not only going to be interacting with me, you can also interact with the legendary Crazy Coffee Man, who's a fanatic when it comes to Dexter, and more of a fanatic when it comes to Lucifer, and also might not be right away, but the legendary or the great T. Parker Evans will also be in the comment section, who's a massive Dexter fan, as well as a Halloween fan and a Scream fan. So make sure you interact with us and let me know your thoughts. And then last, but certainly not least, this goes without saying, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV. So this will be Dexter Original Sin, Season 1, Episode 2. The title of this episode is called Kid in a Candy Store. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. I almost forgot to mention I got my Dexter gear on again. My Dexter for President shirt. I didn't write Dexter as a write-in candidate on my ballot on November 5th, but maybe I should have. But anyway, Dexter's still spinning in his chair. He feels high coming off his first kill. Tanya Martin says Dr. Rivas told her that Dexter had the best grades he's ever seen, and she says, "We don't do grades here. You make one mistake here and the killer goes free." Dexter gets a tour of the lab at Miami Metro, but Miami Metro is unfortunately limited, so the tour is over almost as soon as it started. Tanya says she has to sell a kidney for a box of pens, and then Tanya gives Dexter a pager. Now, I had a pager, but it was never actually active. That's really old school these days, and the narrator, Michael C. Hall, says, "I never liked being kept on a leash." And then Tanya calls Dexter Tiger, and she has to look at some results, and Masuka will give you the game plan. And then Dexter looks at a blood slide and picks it up. Kind of a mark out moment, kind of. And then Tanya comes back and tells Dexter not to touch anything. And then Masuka tells Dexter when he's the number 2 when Tanya's gone, and Dexter isn't even a number yet. And then we see the judge's son. The bad person has the judge's son in a room, and he's like chained to the floor. And then we have Aaron Spencer, who talks to Harry Morgan, Angel Batista, and Bobby Watt. Harry talks about having to give up smoking, but instead of smoking now, he's eating candy, or at least we thought he was done smoking. They talk about Judge Powell's kid missing. It might be something to do with the cartel. Could be payback. Then we have a flashback of Aaron Spencer putting Harry and Bobby leads on the Estrada case, and Bobby Watt has known Dexter ever since he was watching Scooby-Doo. Dexter asks Angel Batista what is NHI, and Angel says no humans involved. Dexter's first crime scene as a forensic. Initially, he's not let in, but one of the uniformed cops says he's Sergeant Morgan's son, and he's good. My very first crime scene. It felt like Christmas morning, and I've been a good boy, says narrator Michael C. Hall. Tanya tells Morgan she's glad he's here. She tells Dexter she's tiny but mighty, and don't you forget it, as her boss was like thinking that she was going to wimp out on her first crime scene, and he's the one that threw up chunks, essentially. And then Tanya has a mission for Dexter. She sends him on a coffee mission. Spencer also gives Dexter an order. Deb's hanging out at a sunglasses hut, and Deb's friend has a bunch of money, and she's actually super into Dexter since he went all Karate Kid at the party. Dexter brings the coffee without a tray. He has like 5 cups of coffee and the other things that Spencer asked for, so pretty good job by Dexter. Tanya Martin tells Dexter it's time to get his hands dirty with the checklist. Skip one step and someone dies. You. A little homicide humor to kick off the day, Tanya says. Tanya tells Dexter to photograph the entire scene, especially the blood. Spatter matters. I'm really liking Tanya Martin thus far. I hope her character is still alive in the Dexter universe, and I have a feeling that she is, and maybe, just maybe, she comes into play in Dexter Resurrection. Maybe not, but hey, one can dream. I really like her character. Dexter knows the killer was standing in front of the victim when he was shot. Duh, as there's a void in the spatter. Spencer says Dexter's a real blue chipper, and then they poke fun at Dexter, like, yeah, you're pointing the obvious out. And then Masuka randomly just laughs. I am getting a little annoyed by Masuka. They're just throwing these laughs in there. They're like, hey, remember Masuka laughed? Harry talks to Dexter about blending in, and then we have a flashback scene of Harry needs to buy an 8-ball from Joe, who is with Laura Moser. Is that Joe Driscoll, Dexter's biological father? They are both arrested by Harry and Bobby Watt. Joe tells Laura not to say a fucking word. Random quick scene with the judge's son pouting. Lunchtime, Dexter's saving seats for his friends. First time he's had friends, and a strange feeling. And then another random Masuka laugh. I love who they casted as Masuka, but he's just randomly laughing at times, just be like, oh, Masuka laugh, Masuka laugh. Masuka never laughed that much in the show. But whatever, I guess it's a little minor gripe about it. And then Masuka calls Dexter a boy genius. Batista's cousin runs this joint that they're having lunch at. And then Vincent Masuka presents Dexter with his brand new Miami Metro laminate. Oh, the laminate, the famous laminate. Bobby's watching his cholesterol, so he tells the guys if his wife asks, he just had a salad. And then Dexter makes a joke about his cholesterol, coming from the fact that his father just had a heart attack, and it wasn't funny, and nobody really laughed about it. It was kind of like a silent moment, because Dexter is socially awkward. And then we check in on the judge's son again. He gets some food, and then Deb thinks Dexter just got laid, as he's had a pep in his step, and he's acting weird. Dexter noticed Harry had a cigarette burn on his shirt, and Dexter makes a comment that he knows how hard urges are, and Harry's like, don't compare my urge to your urge. And then, Fuckosaurus Rex. What a dumb line. You can't unboil water. Deb's mad that somebody let the water, go over and boil out of the pan. And then Dexter says he'll make it up to her with breakfast for dinner tomorrow. Dexter says his day was exciting to Harry and a bit overwhelming, but not as good as the Nurse Mary stuff. But today was good. Plus, Miami Metro gives Dexter way more of a rush than med school does. So Harry's, okay, well, that's good. Harry tells Dexter not to tell Deb about his smoking, and then Deb hears this and makes a comment about how many times she's fucking heard, don't tell your sister in the last year. Harry makes Deb angry, and she goes in her room. Dexter thinks about killing off Nurse Mary, what he did, the moment he did it. And he actually has a video cassette box with her earrings in it, and he just pulls them out, hoping it would keep his urges at bay. Then we have another flashback of Joe. We don't know if this is Joe Driscoll, the bowler. Would you rather do time than snitch for your fucking pigs? Or he would rather do time than snitch to fucking pigs. And Harry tells Laura she has to talk to her. Or Harry tells Laura she has to talk to him, but I put her. Harry says, I'm sure your kids are worried sick. And Laura Moser, I think I said Lori, Laura says her boys are with the neighbors. And then Harry thanks Deb in the morning for all she's been doing to help out. And then Deb mentions at least when Mom was around, she had someone there to, go to. Dexter has brought veggies for everyone on a platter. Dexter doesn't know how to win over cops. Yet. Harry asks Angel Batista to take Dexter under his wing, take him out tonight. Tanya sends Dexter down to the records department, and Dexter and Camilla get to catch up. Camilla tells Dexter cops don't eat that shit when it comes to the veggies, and she throws the platter of them out. And then Camilla says she'll be dead and buried before all those files that are down in the records place get put onto the computer. And then we have court time. The defendant, the guy that was in the shower naked, pleads not guilty. Captain Spencer tells Harry, don't worry, that the only place that son of a bitch is going is on death row. The judge asks Harry if the case about the judge's kid has any leads, and Harry doesn't know much about it. And then we have another flashback of Harry and Doris find out that they cannot replace their baby that drowned and died. And we have Deb taking a look at her mom's jewelry box. And then Deb decides to go in Dexter's rooms and goes through his things. And his sock drawer is perfectly organized. And Deb's like, what the fuck? And she's going to sell his cassette tapes, his VHS cassette, VCR or, VHS tapes. And when she pulls them, she hears the things rattle. And she looks at the earrings. And she decides that she's going to sell them. And, she looks confused, but she's going to sell all of his tapes and try to sell the earrings at a pawn shop. Batista does some shots at this restaurant. Dexter tells Batista he doesn't dance. Dexter and Batista do a shot when Batista initially wasn't going to let him because he's not 21. And then Dexter allows him to do this one. Batista tells Dexter a story about Rennie. Dexter remembers that particular case due to the files he was looking at the records room. And then Dexter thanks Angel for sharing the story. And then Michael C. Hall, the narrator, says it was more enlightening than he could have possibly imagined. The judge's son gets his finger cut off. Deb tries to pawn the earrings. They're fake. She won't get nothing for those. But he'll give her $200. He'll give her $250 for her necklace that was her mom's. And Deb says, deal. And Deb tells her friend, who's like, that's your mom's. This is me moving the fuck on. And Deb gives her friend the earrings. Dexter has brought in donuts for Miami Metro. Spencer says he's officially his favorite Morgan. Dexter's happy that he's been able to blend in. Angel has a donut to hopefully help with his hangover with all his shots that he did. Harry seems impressed that Dexter's been able to blend in. And then we have another flashback of Harry tells Laura she made the right decision. And then we get to see a young Dexter and a young Brian Moser. Of course, Brian Moser being the ice truck killer, a.k.a. Rudy, in Dexter Season 1. And then we find out that the finger that was cut off was sent to the judge's house. And Tanya Martin looks over the prints, and it's a match. And then Dexter wants to kill whoever did this. To feed his urge, Dexter's going to set his sights on someone else. Handsome Tony Ferreira. And then Dexter has gotten Harry a nicotine patch. And Dexter says with his narration, the truth is there was no Nicorette for someone like me. no methadone. And then Michael C. Hall, the narrator, says, "The dark passenger is rising. Hello, darkness, my old friend." And that's what ends this episode of Dexter, Original Sin. So, it's still good. I like it. I'm not the biggest fan of prequels, but I'm going to give this episode an 8.0 out of 10. And my characters of the episode, again, I have to give it to Tanya Martin. I really like Tanya Martin with her spatter matters, tiny but mighty line. I just really liked her character. And then I guess I have to give Deb the secondary character. Harry was good too, and Spencer did a little bit, and Batista was good. But ultimately, the characters that I focused on were Tanya and Deb. Obviously, Dexter would be the character of every episode, but aside from Dexter. So, the whole random music that is played through the episodes, like this copyrighted music, instead of like random theme music, it's like random music. Like last week is Ice Ice Baby and Freedom, and there was different songs that I don't need the name of. That's kind of a different pace for that, different thing that they do in this show. I don't necessarily like that, but that's my minor gripe. And then the random Masuka laughs at random times instead of just once an episode or even once every other episode. It's It's like they have to get 3 Masuka laughs in each episode. And I feel like Angel Batista, that guy, while he may look like a skinny Angel Batista, he doesn't really sound like him in my opinion yet. I mean, not everybody can sound like everybody, but I feel like he's the worst casted. I thought LaGuerta was going to be in this episode, but I guess we'll get her next week. But anyway, I'm rambling now. You've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Dexter, Dexter New Blood, or Dexter Original Sin, and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section and talk to me and the legendary Crazy Coffin Man, as well as the great T. Parker Evans. Let us know your thoughts. Who's the character of the episode? What would you score the episode? Anything else that you want to add? Remember to click right here for my Dexter stuff. Whatever video you want to see, make sure you like and comment and let me know your thoughts on them. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDevTV.